And then, yeah, I think everybody has their extra chair today for some downward dog and some other poses. But to start out, we're going to just come to a nice comfortable seat. If you want to be forward in the chair a little bit, so getting into the core a little bit, sitting nice and tall, you're welcome to do that. Sometimes that just doesn't feel right starting out, especially if you're feeling a little more lethargic and tired today. Maybe sit a little further back in your chair and just relax a little bit. And then before we find this place of stillness, let's get into the shoulders. So just roll them back a few times. And roll them forward. Good, roll back again. And then just allow your shoulder blades to release down your back. You can rest your hands on your thighs. Let your eyelids close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top and sip in a little more air. And then exhale the breath out through your mouth. Ha. So I want you to do that a few more times at your pace, inhaling, pausing, and then exhaling the air out through your mouth. With that exhale, you're letting the day go so far, the Mondays go, the gray weather, anything that might be stressing you out. You're giving yourself permission not to worry about that the next hour. And instead, we're going to start to move our bodies. We're going to start to breathe. We're going to start to work at quieting the mind. So just giving ourselves a little break. Sometimes that can feel really hard to do. We actually have to almost give ourselves permission and say it's okay. So do that. And then we start to just find a nice steady, even inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. Right away, notice if you're creeping your shoulders up towards your ears, you're just softening down. So yes, there is effort to sit like this, but we don't want to use parts of the body that we don't need to. You might be practicing Ujjayi breath if you like that. So also inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but constricting the sides of your throat a little bit. So you're making a little bit of a sound. It's that Darth Vader sound or ocean waves. You don't have to overdo it, but it is audible to you. If there was somebody else next to you in the room, they'd be able to hear it. And as much as possible, you're listening to that sound of your breath. You're using this breath to help quiet, calm, focus you. Good. Take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha, and then blink your eyes open. Good. Let's inhale, stretch our arms up here. Just bring your right wrist to your left, or your right fingertips to your left wrist. I'm warning you from the get-go. I'm having a hard time talking today. As we exhale, we just bend nice and gentle to the right. It doesn't have to be very deep here at all. Just getting a little lateral stretch. You're going to feel it in the arms as well here in this configuration. Let that left shoulder blade release down your back. And you can modify too if it's hard to have that arm extended. Do anything that you need to. You can even skip the arm part. Good. Inhale back up. Release that wrist. Good. And then left fingertips to right wrist. Pull up, find length. Gentle, super easy here. Notice if that right sit bone gets a little light. Keep anchoring down there. Nice modification, Amy. Good. Come back to center. Release, so palms face towards each other, and then exhale. Just release your arms down. And let's move into some cat-cow here. So hands press on thighs or knees. Inhale, you rock forward on your sit bone. So you start to arch a lot in your lumbar. Elbows can squeeze in. As you exhale, you move in the opposite direction. Begin to round in, just tucking your chin towards your chest. And then you're moving with your pace here. So finding what you need. If you're feeling a little stressed out, a little anxious, sometimes slowing the breath, the movement down helps to counter that. Conversely, if you're feeling a little tired today, a little low energy, maybe you move the breath a little faster. So you can just play with that. Notice how it feels for you. Notice if it shifts things. And then really just enjoying how it feels to begin to move the spine like this. And starting out like this, we can feel pretty tight here. But it's also, it's kind of cool how just a little bit of movement, doesn't take much, really starts to shift things pretty quickly. Which is why it's good to do, even if it's just like 5 minutes of something every day, it really does make a difference. Good. Let's do a couple more here, and then we're going to come back upright. And the next inhale, you're going to come back to center. And we're going to come into our eagle legs here. And we'll actually do a little eagle pose with the arms. So we're going to take our right thigh and we're going to cross it over our left thigh. And then kind of just make any adjustments that you need to. You still want to feel both sit bones pressing down. And of course, I should say, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always modify. So if any of these variations aren't working for you, you could just simply stay here like this and add on. So don't think that you have to be doing exactly what I'm doing. All right. So here, let's go ahead and inhale, stretch our arms out wide. Beautiful. Take another deep inhale. And then exhale, just a nice gentle twist to the right. You need not go very far. Imagine that somebody is holding on to both wrists gently. So two somebodies holding onto your wrists and then gently stretching you apart. And then maybe you release your right hand behind you. So grabbing a piece of chair. And then maybe you can bring your left palm to the outside of your right thigh. If that doesn't feel good, especially in the back, you can just stay here or even just bring your left hand to your hip. So lots of different places we can be. We're all pressing our shoulder heads back. And then maybe, if it feels okay, begin to bring your gaze out towards that right shoulder. And then it might get all the way there, it might not. You'll know where to stop because you'll be feeling some sensation. You'll feel like you can't go any further, so don't force it. And again, just check in with your breath. Make sure that you have that nice, smooth, deep inhale through your nose. Full, complete exhale through your nose. So staying in whatever version of the twist that you're in, as you exhale, just start to bring your gaze towards that left shoulder. And maybe just tuck the chin a little bit so we start to feel a stretch through the right side of the neck, that scalene muscle. Yeah, nice work, everyone. Good. So you might just stay here like this. If you want to play with another little lateral stretch, go ahead and inhale. Just bring your chin up and kind of keep looking forward. And then maybe release that right arm up and over. So like a little twist, a little side stretch. Some of us might start to look up underneath the right arm. And again, if this isn't working, you just keep your hand back, maybe lean to the left a little bit. You could be holding onto your right hip with your right hand. Lots of options. These look great, and I'm seeing great modifications here. Smooth, deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Good. And then inhale, just upright yourself. Come out of the twist. Just take a couple of breaths. You can just release your arms by your side. We're going to keep the leg crossed here. Really nice work. And then again, we inhale, stretch the arms out. We're going to give ourselves a little hug. Right arm comes underneath. So elbows stack here. You can hold onto your shoulder blades. Depending upon the flexibility in your shoulders, maybe the backs of the hands press, maybe palms press. So all good places to be. Wherever you're at, elbows are stacking on top of each other. And we're going to turn this into a little cat-cow. So inhale, elbows lift, arch a little bit, rock forward on your sit bones. And then as you exhale, release elbows down, rock to the backs of your sit bones, chin towards chest. Inhaling, opening up. Gorgeous work. As you exhale, you round in. Good. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, round. So this time, let's just come back to a nice neutral spine. So elbows lift, but you're not overarching in the lumbar. Maybe bring your gaze up. So here we are in our eagle pose, Garudasana. Good. Take a nice full exhale. And then inhale, open your arms up. Lovely. As you exhale, just release down. And then we're going to uncross this right thigh. And we'll take the second side. So this side could feel entirely different in your body. Again, maybe don't cross the thigh if that doesn't feel good on this side, if you feel unsteady. But if this is accessible in your body, we move into the second side here. So just taking a few breaths in our Garudasana legs, eagle pose legs. You're rooting down into your sit bones. Your hips are facing the same direction, and you might even just visualize outer hip squeezing in. Notice how that might inform the upper body. So maybe it feels like you sit a little taller as you find that idea of anchoring and supporting yourself. Good. From here, we're going to move into our twist. So as we inhale, we stretch our arms up. Again, imagine you have two friends just holding onto your wrists and gently tractioning you apart. Hold on to that. Deep inhale. Exhale, twist from this lowermost right rib. And it doesn't have to be very far. So for some of us, these twists feel great. For some of us, they're a lot more challenging. So you just go as far as you can and maybe back off that a little bit. And then we have the option here to release this left hand down behind us. So grabbing a piece of chair behind you. And then maybe you're bringing your hand to the outside of that left thigh, right hand. Maybe you're just holding onto your right hip. So again, just see what feels good in your body on this side. It could look different than the other side. It's okay if the poses aren't exactly the same side to side. Are your shoulder blades creeping up around your ears? Can you release them down? And maybe can you start to bring your gaze out over that left shoulder? Just move as far as feels like it's a good stretch in your body. And we're going to stay in the twist, but as you exhale, begin to look out towards your right shoulder, perhaps tucking that chin too. And that's going to intensify the stretch that you're feeling in the back of your neck. You're going to feel it on the left side a little bit. Find your breath if you've lost it. Always coming back to our breath. It really is, it's the piece of our yoga practice that threads everything together. I think maybe it's the most important part of the yoga practice. I think it's a big reason why we feel so good is this attention to our breath. All right, so as you inhale, lift your chin, and then we're gonna come into that little lateral side stretch. So whatever that looks like, maybe you just keep holding on with your left hand, lean off to the right a little bit. Maybe that left arm comes up and over. And then as you press into that right hand, you can wrap the right ribs up towards the ceiling a little more. These look excellent. And shoulder blades releasing down your back. Breath smooth and steady. Really, really nice work. Couple more breaths here. Good. So as we inhale, we upright ourselves here. Just come out of the twist. Release the arms. Couple of breaths. Here we are. Our Garudasana legs. Good work. So again, as we inhale, arms reach out and up. And we're going to give ourselves a little hug here. This time the left arm is going to come underneath. So elbows stacking. Maybe you can bring the backs of your hands together. Maybe palms compress, all good places to be. We're going to turn this into little cat-cow. So as you inhale, rock forward on your sit bones. Find that arch in your lumbar, elbows lift. As we exhale, we rock back on the sit bones. Elbows release towards belly button. Chin comes towards chest. Inhaling, finding that arch and that lift of the arms. Exhaling, rounding in. Feeling that stretch, especially in the upper spine, the thoracic. Couple more like this, just moving with your breath at your pace. And something so nice about flowing with the breath like this, it has this very calming, meditative quality. The next time you're inhaling, come on up. So just sitting tall here. Coming into the full expression of our Garudasana eagle pose. Beautiful work. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms out. And then as we exhale, we release the arms down. Let's uncross that left thigh if you were in that variation with your legs. And then let's get into the neck a little more. We've done a little bit, but let's go a little deeper. So from your mountain pose, sitting nice and tall, just start to tuck your chin towards your chest. And hands can be resting on your thighs. You could reach your arms by your side. That's going to be a little more intense. Keeping your chin tucked. Just take several breaths to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And as you do this, you're going to get all kinds of sensations. Some days it's really intense, and you might notice that your shoulders start to creep up around your ears. So try to keep them nice and heavy. You might get to some places where you're feeling sensation in the left side of the neck, and you're going to be like, I don't want to stay here, but encourage yourself to be there for a breath or two and see if you can find a little more room, a greater sense of ease. This is a good one to do every day. You can just do it while you're binging something on Netflix. Maybe a little break if you've been at the computer too long. So finally, as you're here, if this is feeling good, just stay here like this. If you'd like a little more, maybe take your right hand to the top of your head. Apply some very gentle pressure, not much at all. Good. If your hand is on top of your head, just release. And we can all take our right hand to our right cheek. Just use your arm to help bring your head upright. And then we move towards our second side. So first we bring our chin towards our chest. Hopefully it feels like the back of the neck is lengthening a little more. So the tendency is to grip here. It's hard for us to let it go. Now these muscles in our neck really, really work hard to hold the brain, the skull upright. So it's kind of challenging to move in this direction. Notice if your shoulders have gotten involved, keep releasing them down your back. And then again, nice and slow, no rush. Keeping chin tucked, we make that journey off to the left, passing by many places on the way, choosing to breathe into some of those spots, especially the ones where we're getting a lot of sensation, just seeing if we can find a greater sense of ease, a greater sense of space. And maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. You might be just comparing how this side feels different as opposed to the other side. And then maybe just adding a little more, taking left hand to the top of the head. If that doesn't feel good on this side, you skip it. Okay, nice deep inhale. Good, and then just use your left hand to upright the head. Good, just release, arms down. Close your eyes, take a couple of breaths here, checking in. Noticing how you're feeling, noticing what's shifting already for you. Good, and then blinking your eyes open. So before we come into our downward facing dog, let's just get into the hips a little bit. So let's just do some soupy rolls. So hands on your thighs, just gonna start to channel your inner belly dancer. And this movement it feels really nice. It's not something that we do a lot in yoga, so I always really enjoy it. Your circles can be big, they can be small. You can get your shoulders involved. You can get your neck involved. There's really no right or wrong here. These look great. And just kind of opening things up, finding this fluid movement. Nice and easy. Start to switch directions. Good. And then just come up right here. And we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So another chair is nice to have. You could always use a table in front of you, a wall in front of you will work. So I'm going to give everybody a moment here to kind of adjust the yoga space. And I'm going to do the same. So downward dog is really nice. It really helps us to lengthen through the sides of the waist, engage the arms. If you're working with a chair, I'm going to actually turn my chair around here, at least for this first one. So I can have my hands on the top of the chair, but you're also welcome to have them lower. It kind of just depends on what feels good to you. And it might take a moment or two here to find the right distance between things. So just know you can adjust that as we come in. But again, just finding a nice Tadasana mountain pose. So as you root into your sit bones, you can feel those shoulder heads just stacking on top. All right, and then let's inhale, stretch the arms up. Bring your palms to face forward. Spread the fingers a little bit. And then as you exhale, you start to hinge forward, fold in. So keep that idea of fingers spreading a little bit. And then notice how as you firm down into the top of the chair, the seat of your chair, you feel the arms really engage here. And then the last little piece is we want to bring our ears in line with our biceps, so that inner arm. And your gaze is just slightly ahead. So you're kind of looking, if you're working with a chair here, you're probably just looking at the legs of the chair. Can you anchor down more into your sit bones, especially on the exhale? And then as you do that, on the inhale, can you grow a little taller through the sides of your waist? Can you feel muscle firm to bone, especially in those arms? And there's also this feeling as you press down of the inner arm wrapping towards the outer arm. So you start to widen across the shoulders a little bit, the backs of the shoulders. Couple more breaths. Good. So inhale, just bring your gaze forward and up. And you can roll back if you feel strong in your core doing that. Most of us are probably just going to take one hand to thigh, then the other, and then come on up. So just find a way where you can be safe and stable, finding this Tadasana mountain pose again. So we're going to do another downward facing dog. But before we do that, let's just do a little lateral side to side stretching. So you can just stay where you're at. But as you inhale, you're going to lift your arms up. I did that wrong. As you exhale, you're going to release your arms down. We just added a little extra there. Keep right fingertips reaching. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. There we go. I got it now. As you exhale, left hand releases. Beautiful. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. Exhale, release down. And then again, continue like this. So what pace do you want to work with today? Do you want to speed things up? Do you want to slow things down, stretch them out? Really listen to what's feeling good to you and to what you need. This is one of the gifts, one of the many gifts that our yoga practice gives us, is this attention to how we're feeling physically, mentally, energetically. And then we can make smart choices, smart adjustments, so that our yoga practice really helps us to feel good and connected. Beautiful work. Let's just do a couple more to each side, and then we'll go ahead and hold each side too, just for a few breaths. Okay, the next time that left arm is reaching right up and over and you're leaning off to the right, just hold there. And if it's hard to keep this top arm extended, you could bend the elbow, just bring your hand to the back of the neck. You could even just bring your hand to your hip. Try to let that right shoulder blade release down your back and then feel these right ribs twisting up towards the ceiling, maybe even bringing your gaze towards that left shoulder. Deep inhale. Exhale, release left arm down. Inhale, right arm reaches. Same adjustments here if you need, hands to the back of the head, maybe even right fingertips to right hip. Rooting into your sit bones, leaning to the left, twisting those left ribs up towards the ceiling, any amount, maybe looking up underneath that top arm. Good, full deep inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Couple of breaths in your mountain pose before we come back into our downward facing dog. Good. So inhaling, arms reach up. And again, just bring your palms to face forward. Gently spread the fingers. You don't have to overdo that, but find it a little bit engaged and notice how that starts to activate the arms. As you exhale, find lots of length, start to hinge forward. And then hands come either to the back of the chair, the seat of the chair, and then just letting your arms, or rather your ears, line up with the inner arm. Gaze just soft and gentle in front of you, so probably just looking at the legs of the chair. From here, we're going to turn this into a little twist. So I want you to bring your right hand to the center of the back of the chair, and then just bring your left hand to your left hip. Good, and then we're just going to start to twist the right ribs to the left. And again, you listen to your body. So if twists are challenging, if they don't feel good, you either skip it, you stay in your downward dog, or you go a lot less far. So that's definitely an option. If you would like to stretch your left fingertips back, kind of does a nice little stretch here down this left side. You're welcome to do that. Maybe you're gazing towards that left shoulder. What's going on with your breath? Check in there. Good, take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, bring that left arm forward. Just come back to your downward facing dog. And then we find that twist to the left side. So just scoot your left hand to the center of the top of the chair or the seat of the chair. You're gonna take your right hand to your right hip. And you're gonna start to wrap these left ribs to the right. So this is great. Again, you're going as far as feels good in your body, maybe even skipping this pose altogether and just staying in your downward dog. If you want to extend your right fingertips back and maybe move your gaze in that direction, you're welcome to do so. A few more good breaths. Really try to fill up on the inhale. Feel how everything constricts in on the exhale. Good, one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, find this downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Arms really active and strong. Good. And then we roll up to our mountain pose, Tadasana. Couple of breaths here, letting everything slow down. And then we're going to use the prop that we have for a little leg stretch here. So I'm going to turn my chair around. And we are going to go ahead and take the right heel on that right chair. You could also just take the leg straight in front of you if that's a better variation, or if you don't have a good prop to work with. So both are good. All right. Looks like everybody's all situated here. So we're going to call this just like our crescent pose starting out. So rooting down into your sit bones as you inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Maybe bring your gaze up, feel that lift of your sternum. You might even press your palms together. These are gorgeous. Good. And then as you exhale, take your arms out wide. And then a tiny little twist again. As we exhale, start to twist to the right. You might not go very far at all. Imagine that somebody is stretching your wrists apart. And then perhaps you reach that right hand down, grab a piece of chair, or you could even take your right hand to the top of that right thigh. And then maybe you bring your left hand either to the inside of your left thigh or the outside of your right thigh. If twisting is challenging, you're just staying here. You can do your crescent pose or arms out wide. And then let's play with that little lateral stretch in this twist again. So wherever your left hand is, just keep it there. But perhaps you stretch your right arm up and over. So this is like a little crescent twist with a lateral stretch. It's like all the things. You might be looking up underneath that top arm. Check in with your breath, especially the inhale. It's a little trickier to fill up when we're constricted in these twists. So do your best. Good. As you exhale, release, come back to center, and then just option to forward fold here. So getting into a nice hamstring stretch. And again, you're welcome to do that even if your leg is extended forward on the floor. So with the chair in front of you, you might come down. You could also use hands on blocks. If your leg is extended, you can reach arms up and fold in any amount. This is also a really great place if you have a strap or a tie or a scarf, you're a little tighter, taking that around the sole of the foot can feel really nice. And this is certainly intense, so I'd say go less far than you think you need to. I'm getting a big stretch here. Keep focusing on that sound, that rhythm of your breath. So especially in these intense poses, the mind loves to wander, the chatter kicks up. All right, we're gonna inhale, roll up here. So just making your way out of that side. Good work. Then we're gonna release the foot from the chair. If the leg was extended, just bend the knee, find your mountain pose. So this is like the blueprint pose. There's a little of this pose in everything we do. So we always return here. And then we do that left side, which might look different. So leg extended on the floor. If you like this variation, using the chair, that feels okay in your body, you can be there. So we're going to call this our crescent pose legs. Root down into your sit bones. Feel the length on the inhale through the sides of your waist. And then inhale again. Stretch your arms up. So find your crescent pose. Feel a little lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. And then maybe start to bring your gaze up. Maybe even press your palms together. There's a little cobra pose here in the upper body, little back bend, which feels really good and uplifting, a little energizing. So lose that back bend in the thoracic. So just bring your gaze forward. As you exhale, take your arms out wide. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, gentle, gentle, gentle. Begin to twist to the left. Any amount, you need not go very far. Good, and then maybe grab a piece of chair, or you could bring your left hand to your left hip. And then this right hand can press down into right thigh, can come to the inside. If you have a deeper twist, if twisting is a little easier in your body, you can bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg. So you kind of just use a little leverage to help you wrap these lowermost right ribs to the left. Are the shoulders up in your ears? If so, just try to soften them down. Surprisingly hard to do. Breath smooth and steady again, focusing on that expansion that happens on the inhale. And then you're welcome to stay here like this. If you want to find that little lateral twist, maybe reaching that right arm up and over. Trying to keep the left shoulder out of the ear, so releasing that shoulder blade down. These look so good. And you could even look up underneath that top arm if it feels okay, if you feel steady and balanced there. Good, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just start to unwind, come back to center. Good work. And then we find our little forward fold here. So whatever that looks like for you, you can use the strap around your foot if that feels good. Stretching up here. And then exhaling, folding in. And then again, if you have this left foot on the floor, hands on blocks can be really nice as you fold in. Whatever version you're doing, you're getting a great stretch in this hamstring, the glute attachment, even lower back a little bit. It's all connected. Couple more good breaths. Good inhale. Start to make your way upright. And then you can bend that left knee, release the foot from the chair. Just find your mountain pose. Take a few breaths, check in, notice how you're feeling. And then we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. We're going to start with the inhale on our right side, exhales, and then exhaling through the left side. So when you start with the right side, it's a little more energizing and stimulating. So this is for you, Martha. It's going to be like a little afternoon cup of coffee, hopefully, without all of the jitters. All right, so just finding a comfortable seat wherever you want to be. Good. And then we're going to use our right hand. So let's just warm up the fingers a little bit. Just kind of give them a little wiggle out. All right. And then the next time they're reaching down, just leave them there, kind of curl them up. And then you're going to extend the ring finger and the pinky finger. So you keep the middle and index in. And if this isn't happening in your hands for any reason, you can also just use your thumb and your index. It doesn't have to look like this. This is just more the classic version of the pose. So we're going to use our ring finger to block the right nostril. We're going to use our thumb to block, I said that wrong. So index finger is going to block the left nostril, thumb will block the right nostril, and we'll just go back and forth. So go ahead and put your fingers on the bridge of your nose. So I want you to feel that bony part. All right, and then just lower a little bit. So there's that soft tissue. So that's where we're going to be pressing. And you don't have to press very hard at all. It's a very gentle movement. And then just notice too how sometimes this right shoulder likes to creep up. So release it down. Good, close your eyes if they're not already. Take a nice deep inhale through both nostrils. Full complete exhale through both nostrils. And then you're going to block the left nostril with your thumb. I'm sorry, right nostril. No, that's right. Okay, I'm doing the opposite of you guys. Give me a second here. I'm going to get it. So yes, you're going to block the left nostril with your ring finger, and then we're going to inhale through the right nostril. So here we go, inhaling right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. One more full complete cycle. So inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Release your right hand down. Inhaling through both nostrils. And then exhaling through both nostrils. And then moving to a final resting pose here. So you just might stay seated in quiet meditation. If you wanted to come into a supported child's pose with that chair in front of you, you could do that. If it's available to you to come into classic Shavasana laying down on the floor, you're welcome to go there as well. So just see what you need. Find a place where you can be quiet and still these final moments of class. In this stage of the game, you can let go of efforting your breath. So just allow the inhale and the exhale to find their own natural rhythm. And just try to feel really relaxed here. It's just soaking up all of the hard work we've done this past hour. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma joy tirgamaya. Mrityorma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Let your next inhale be deeper. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then bring gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle, stretch, Anything that feels good here. And placing your palms, pile on top of your heart. Sending yourself, sending your body love and gratitude. Just noticing what's shifted for you in this past hour, physically, mentally, emotionally. How has your headspace changed? And just promising yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling you've worked so hard to create with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. And start to bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, yogis. Thank you. So good to see all of you. Namaste.